Alright, y'all. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. This your boy Conscious Energy, speaking to you with the spectacular vernacular, doing it all legal. Rock the bottom, and I'm getting all y'all tongue, get in it. Take all the beautiful ways to just, woo, breathe. We're gonna start the show in a few minutes, man. It's been a long time. Come in, come on, hit that like button for your boy CE. Just come in, come on, hit that like button. If the signal is good, if the signal is clear, if somebody keeps in one, nothing but the signal is good, the signal is clear. If somebody keeps in one, nothing but the true All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this commentary. Let's go ahead and get into the commentary. Let me cam up for a minute, man. It's been so long. I done forgot how to do everything on here. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. Peace and love. Peace and love. Yeah, family, make sure y'all get y'all the It's a Kerfuffle hat. We got the It's a Kerfuffle shirt. That's right, man. Much love to Brother D Darrell. Everybody bought some merch, Vichy. We got that beautiful It's a Kerfuffle hat, It's a Kerfuffle shirt. Let me go ahead and drop the link real quick, man, for anybody want to get them some It's a Kerfuffle merch. It's a premium product, and you can have your product to you in no time. You dig? You can have your product to you in no time. All right, let me drop the link real quick. Uh, okay. I want to thank everybody watching right now. I want to thank everybody watching right now. Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Your brother CE hasn't been live in a long time. About 2 months. It's been about 2 months since I've been live, man. You know, your brother been busy, man. He been real busy, but it's all good. All right. So let me go ahead and drop that link real quick. Boom. All right. Okay. And let me drop one more link for the family that want to get them some merch. You dig? All right. Then, of course, anybody want to support the channel, I go ahead and drop my little cash app. You know what I'm saying? And subscribe to my new channel, DBZ Nation, man. We got a lot of good things going on over there on the DBZ Nation channel. Make sure you sub, know what I'm saying? Well, I know y'all see the title. I know y'all see the title. It's been a long time, family. Is social media a gift or a curse? Is social media a gift and a curse at the same time? So I wanted to talk about this topic just for a few minutes with the family. Man, we got 6 people in the room. We got 6 people in the room. We only got 2 likes, family. Can we get 2 more people to hit that like button so we can get the 4 likes? Are there 2 more people in the Nothing But the Truth chat room watching this video that can hit that like button so we can get the 4 likes? I would really appreciate that, family. But is social media a gift and a curse? I'm gonna drop the link for anybody want to come up. I'm gonna drop the link for anybody want to come up. What's up, Pills? Man, we got Pillsbury Drive in the house, man. Salute to brother Pills, man. Shout out to Vegas. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. Pillsbury Drive say hit that like button. Show you right, Pills. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But let me go ahead and drop the link right now if anybody want to come up because this is gonna be a real good discussion. Is social media a gift and a curse? Let me go ahead and drop the link real quick, just in case anybody want to come up and share their opinion about this kerfuffle. All right. Let's see, post comment. All right. Let me go ahead and paste that right there. All right. Chat Lives Matter. What's up, man? Salute to Chat Lives Matter in the house. PCE and Pillsbury Drive. Show you right. Show you right. All right. Just want to make sure I drop the link, man. If anybody want to come up, So why do I say is social media a gift and a curse? Pillsbury Drive say the OG CLM salute. Show you right. Show you right. Chat Lives Matter in the highs. You know what I'm saying? So why do I say is social media a gift and a curse? Well, your brother Conscious Energy has been on social media now for probably about 15 years. It started off with MySpace, for some of us old heads out there. And stop calling me Unc. Man, a lot of y'all youngsters is calling me Unc. I don't know when that became fashionable. Um, but yeah, man, they be calling me Unc. What's going on, Unc? I said Unc. But anyways, social media started off with MySpace. Everybody remember MySpace who was growing up in them days. And then we all remember when Facebook first came. I remember when Facebook first came out, it was like a new platform. You can actually upload videos and stuff like that and different things. And then YouTube came out. And what I'm saying, YouTube, I think YouTube came out probably like in 1998, maybe. Yeah, I think 1998, 1999, when YouTube really came on the scene and everybody was downloading the app. And it was the first app that you could actually, what I'm saying, do live streams for longer than, 10 to 15 minutes. But, and of course, we have the other apps, TikTok, which is a new app that I think is pretty toxic. Also, we're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. TikTok, as my old grandfather called it, Tic Tac. He told me the other day, y'all. He say, "Hey, do you be on that app called Tic Tac?" I said, "Grandpa, you mean TikTok?" So the old folks call it Tic Tac and Tick Ticky, but neither here nor there. It was just Instagram. What I'm saying? I remember when Instagram first came out on the scene, and everybody was like all, just happy and excited. Instagram used to be the spot. I'm gonna say probably about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, then people really stopped using Instagram. Folks like me, I really don't be on Instagram. I really don't be on TikTok. I hardly be on Facebook, just because all the different things going on these different apps. But I remember when social media was a fun place to be. I remember in the days of MySpace when, everybody was doing dances, when Facebook, everybody was doing different challenges. I remember when Soldier Boy, much love to Soldier Boy, man. Much love to everybody in Atlanta, Georgia. Hit that like button for me, y'all. If y'all just coming in. Come on, hit that like button, family. If y'all just coming in, we got 11 people watching. Do we got 5 more people that can hit that like button? We got 11 people watching. Oh, there are 5 more people that can hit that like button. Thank you so much. And let me know the signal good. Pillsbury Drive, is the signal good? Chat lives matter. If the signal good, let me get a thumbs up. If the signal is good, if the signal is clear, let your brother CE get a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. But I remember when social media first came out before it became toxic. Chat Lives Matter said audio is good. Thank you so much, Chat Lives Matter. I appreciate that. I want to be giving y'all no staticky, all over the place, vocally live stream. I want to give you a nice, clear, good live stream like your brother do. You know what I'm saying? I paid top dollar for my microphone. So, because you know what I'm saying? When you hitting links and stuff, you got to have a good microphone. And, what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to invest in yourself, So, what I'm saying? One thing I've learned about social media, especially being on YouTube, you have to have a good microphone that's not staticky, that's not choppy, respectfully. But I remember when Soldier Boy first came out with Crank That Soldier Boy. And for some of y'all old heads out there, y'all remember when Soldier Boy came out with the Crank That Soldier Boy dance. And I remember this because back in the day when I was on MySpace, I remember everybody was doing the Soldier Boy Crank That Soldier Boy dance. And it was like the first video to ever go viral on MySpace. Then of course YouTube came along, and what I'm saying, people started putting videos on there. But if you go back to 1998, if you go back to 1999, 2000, 2001, social media was a very different place. It was a place where people came to have a good time, to socialize with each other, fellowship with each other. It wasn't a lot of fighting. And do you want to know what app came along that changed the game for social media, never to go back to what it was? Let me ask y'all in the Nothing But the Truth chat room. See if y'all know. What app came out in 2004, 2003 that changed social media for the worst? What y'all think in the Nothing But the Truth chat room? I want to know what y'all think. Chat Lives Matter. What app do you think came out that produce a lot of toxicity? I'm sorry if I butchered that word, but what I'm saying, it was just a bad app. I'm gonna tell you who I think. Chat Lives Matter say X. I mean Twitter. Yeah, sure you're right. Chat Lives Matter. Twitter, formerly known Twitter, now X. But I'm gonna say it was World Star Hip Hop. Now, I did drop the link for anybody want to come up and rebuttal what I'm saying. Maybe you may have a difference of opinion. But Twitter was a very good app at one time before it allowed AI to take over, and it was, not let people upload certain videos. And now your boy Elon Musk has took over Twitter and renamed it X. And when I tell you anything goes on X, anything goes. They upload all kinds of videos. Some content for kids, some content not for kids, some content for adults, and some content for. But man, anything goes on X. I'm just gonna put it that way. But I'm gonna say World Star Hip Hop. I want to thank those two people who just hit the like button. Thank you so much. I want to thank those two people who just hit the like button. Thank you so much. But World Star Hip Hop was the app that changed the game. And why do I say that? Because before World Star Hip Hop, you wasn't allowed to really upload graphic videos. I'm going to say adult content type videos on YouTube. And you couldn't do it on MySpace. For the most part, when you was on MySpace, you had to have a certain decor. You had to have certain content because what I'm saying, you couldn't upload fight videos. You couldn't upload videos of what I'm saying, people jumping out the car and hitting people and jumping back. You couldn't upload violent videos to MySpace. And to a certain extent, YouTube the same way. You can upload all kinds of videos to YouTube, but it's certain stuff on YouTube that violates the community guidelines. So here comes World Star Hip Hop back in 2002, 2003. And I remember going to World Star Hip Hop. It was an African American brother who created um World Star Hip Hop. But I remember going there watching videos, people getting into fights and people doing, just crazy things. And you were seeing some women's was wearing unsavory clothes, as I might say. That real Jezebel spirit, that came out of World Star Hip Hop. And then they start uploading videos, with the police and encounters. They started uploading videos, just anything on World Star Hip Hop. Now, let's fast forward to TikTok. Let's fast forward to TikTok. Now, TikTok has been out for about, I'm going to say 4 years. Yeah, about 4 years roughly. And of course, I have a TikTok account, but when I go on TikTok, when it first came out, people was mostly doing dance challenges. Drake had that song where he was talking about I think Kim Kardashian on that song to go, Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? You never, never leave me, Kiki. Do you love me? Are you riding? Y'all remember that? You know what I'm saying? Just real, quirky and just fun, and I remember strolling down TikTok and just seeing everybody having a good time and just, what I'm saying, doing dance challenges and uploading, fun videos and everything. And this was before, because the last 12 months, 2 years, TikTok has been under fire because they say that a Chinese company owns TikTok. And so, what I'm saying, like, I don't know if they're gonna get rid of it, they're gonna keep it. I don't know. I heard that the president gave TikTok like 90 days to sell TikTok to an American company, if I'm not mistaken. We got Outlaw in the house. What's going on, Outlaw? Salute, salute. Peace and love to Outlaw. All right, then we got Chat Lives Matter. Chat Lives Matter say Vine was the app that set everything off. Then Twitter bought Vine. Okay, so Chat Lives Matter say Vine was the app, and I can't really speak too much to Vine Chat Lives Matter because I've never been on that app. I never downloaded it. I have heard about it, but I didn't know that Vine uh, was also, what I'm saying, responsible for some of this negative energy that we got in these YouTube streets and this in the ether of the internet. Salute to you, all. Glad to see you. Peace and love. Thank you for hitting that like button. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. And then Chat Lives Matter says TikTok was under fire because people were setting themselves on fire or whatnot and doing all kinds of dangerous challenges. And that's exactly what I wanted to emphasize, Chat Lives Matter, because if you have a TikTok account, they have a For You page, and then they have like this page called STEM. Now, STEM is mostly educational material, and then you got your For You page when you're strolling down TikTok, where the TikTok algorithm puts certain videos in your For You page. Now, when I used to watch TikTok back in the day, like I said again, fun videos, dance challenges, people doing pranks, throwing pies at people. You may even see some people doing some cooking videos and um doing some videos, talking about relationships. You you had some people doing life coaching. Hold on one second, family. All right. All right. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. Shoot, man, my daughter had one of her toys making some noise in the back, so I had to cut it off. All right. Let me read what y'all saying in the Nothing But the Truth chat room. And again, I want to thank those two people who just hit the like button. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Then we got Chat Lives Matter say Vine wasn't negative. Vine was where the videos were 6 seconds or less. Okay, so really like the first shorts, right? Because YouTube do shorts now, but like 2, 3 years ago, YouTube wasn't doing shorts. But I think YouTube started doing shorts because of TikTok, because so many people was going over to TikTok and doing shorts. So that would really force YouTube to actually start doing shorts. All right. And then Chat Lives Matter say peace to Outlaw. All right, show you right. And then Outlaw say TikTok has a lot of thrash and lots of good stuff, same as YouTube. Okay. Outlaw, was you trying to say thrash or trash? I don't know. Maybe that's a little typo there. Maybe I read it wrong. And then Outlaw says, Chat Lives Matter. What up? What up? Okay, then let me read what Chat Lives Matter just put. It's not the programs, it's the people using the programs. They fight, they fight on the back of the bus, at the movies, at the club, at the fair, on Facebook, on YouTube. It's the people, bro. And I have to agree with that to a certain extent. You know, again, I did drop the link for anybody want to come up and just, give their opinion about this subject. But the reason why I say in the title, the reason why I say in the title, is social media a gift and a curse? Now I'm gonna go into dangerous waters here for a few minutes, and I'm gonna swim with the sharks just a few minutes. Now I have been watching the sector the last few months, and I have been watching different people, brother D Durrell, um, brother Binary Code, of course, Ness, brother Lemon, and much love to brother Lemon. He got a talent show. Brother Lemon from the Beef Sector got a talent show that's going to be going on, I believe, June 7th or June 8th. And you know what I'm saying, he's gonna have a little talent show, and he gonna be playing a couple songs from your brother CE. So y'all may want to check out brother Lemon from the Beef Sector and this talent show that he got going on June 7th. And as soon as he dropped the artwork, I will share it on my community post. Hold on one second. Let me grab something. All right. I'm fit to read that. I want to read that comment just one more time because it made a lot of sense to me. Um, I want to read this comment one more time by Chat Lives Matter. Chat Lives Matter say it's not the programs, it's the people using the programs. They fight on the back of the bus, at the movies, at the club, at the fair, on Facebook, on YouTube. It's the people. And then Chat Lives Matter say, let me give you a biblical reference, bro. Brace yourself. Social media is the Tower of Babel. Genesis chapter 11, verse, I'm sorry, Genesis chapter 11, verse 1 through 9. Well, I appreciate you sharing that scripture with us, Chat Lives Matter. We do appreciate it. But you have to do nothing but look at YouTube in its current position. Now, why did I bring up binary code? Why did I bring up Ness? Why did I bring up Brother Lemon? And there's others, what I'm saying, that go live all the time who do commentary. Of course, YT cameras and Charlie Sendin. And then of course, your boy Lord Photon, Photon DNA, what I'm saying, also does videos. I've seen brother Slander God, alleged brother, but I've seen Slander God go live in the last couple of days. Ray Triggs, much love to Ray Triggs, man, real good brother, and always supported me. And Anti-Fro Spingales. Anti-Fro Spingales has been dropping videos and going back and forth with what's her name? Not Miss T Pre. What's the girl who used to what's the name of the girl that used to date Lord Photon? Man, I can't believe I forgot her name. Miss Thang. There you go, Miss Thang. Um, but if you look at all the different sectors and you look at the content that's being put out, can you say that YouTube has not become a habitation of devils? Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. Because all the sectors not like this. But in this particular sector that I'm involved in, can we not say that YouTube has become a habitation of devils? And what do I mean by that, family? Now, when you look at, I was on Nest channel the other day, and I think it was a plethora of people on Nest's, they hit Nest link. She have like 400-500 people watching. But when you watch the fights that be going down, particularly in the beef sector, now all the sectors are different. Of course, you got the Mode 3 sector, you got the church sector, you got the so-called Umar Johnson sector. Then, the manosphere sector, you have the woman's sphere sector. And let me touch on the manosphere and the woman's sphere sector for 1 minute, because we've all noticed the toxic back and forth that's going on between man and woman on YouTube. You can be blind and you can still see, I'm gonna say, the wedge that has been drawn on social media, particularly through these so-called life coaches or these so-called red pill and so-called blue pill. Now, what is the red pill and the blue pill? The blue pill is a lot of men talking about, they don't like women, they don't want anything to do with women, which I don't understand. And then you got the red pill, people that preach that, women should be doing certain things, preach a lot of masculine and trying to teach men how to be independent, but this environment was not around 15 years ago. And now we got a so-called gender war. Let me say that again. Now we have a so-called gender war that is ever present, not only on YouTube, but on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. There is this so-called gender war going on between man and woman. And I want to elaborate just a little bit more on that. But let me read the comment section of Nothing But the Truth chat room just real quick. All right, if y'all just coming in, come on, hit that like button. I appreciate it so much. We got 6 likes. I want to thank all 6 people. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. I want to thank all 6 people. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. All right, let me read what Outlaw just put. Garfield. Okay, Outlaw put Garfield. All right, then we got Chat Lives Matter say laughing out loud. Okay, then we got Fred Sanford in the house. What's going on, Fred Sanford? Peace and love to you. Salute, salute. Good to see you in the Nothing But the Truth chat room, Fred Sanford. And I did drop the link for anybody want to come up and add their commentary to this well-needed subject that needs to be talked about. All right. And we just scratching the surface, y'all. We just scratching the surface. All right. Then we got Fred Sanford say they had a congresswoman talk. She said they were going against us and removing comments called violations, so we can't earn money. Okay, if you can write that one more time for me, Fred Sanford. Was you trying to say TikTok? I see you put TOK, so let me read it one more time. Maybe I just misread it. They had a congresswoman talking to TOK. I'm going to assume that's TikTok, but talking to TikTok, she said they were going against us and removing comments called violations, so we can't earn money. And Fred Sanford say parentheses us, meaning BLK people. Now, going back to the beef sector, and I'm only going back to the beef sector because I'm gonna say that's the most relevant sector right now. You know, they people in the beef sector go live all the time. Lemon, brother Lemon go live all the time. Ness go live. Brianna Simone go live all the time. YT Cameras goes live every morning, and I'm even gonna have to throw in Binary Code in that because you know Binary Code has become fixture in the beef sector now. I see him doing a lot of commentary with folks over there and hitting a lot of links, and the people hitting his links. But when you watch some of these live streams and you got people arguing for hours on end. Now, some of the stuff, don't get me wrong, some of the stuff is very entertaining. I mean, hey, I be watching, getting a good laugh, you know, sit down, eating some nachos, sitting down, eating a good meal, and just listening to the back and forth of different people, you know, having their kerfuffles. But you got some channels, man. Um, and I can really say this about Ness because I like Ness. I like Ness channel. But you really gotta have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta really be invested to watch her live stream for longer than an hour or two because when people hit her panel, they're literally arguing for hours on end. And so that brings me right back to TikTok. And I want to talk about TikTok just for a few minutes. I know a lot of people don't really mess with TikTok like that. Hold on, let me read this comment real quick. All right. Chat Lives Matter say, I watch Congress like Netflix. I watch Congress like Netflix. The women in Congress argue and roast just like the people on YouTube. I think YouTube is influencing Congress. Okay, okay. I definitely see what you're coming from. Chat Lives Matter. All right. And then Fred Sanford say the tool has started deleting comments too, I hear. Now, you have people on TikTok that are saying some of the most outrageous things and again, I support freedom of speech. I believe that everyone is entitled to freedom of speech and freedom of expression. But I think even on social media, especially sites like World Star Hip Hop, where I believe personally freedom of speech and freedom of expression should only go so far. Now, what do your brother Conscious Energy mean by I support freedom of speech? I support um, freedom of expression, but only to a certain extent. It used to be, family, when people committed crimes, when people did things that was unsavory, they would not record it and upload it to social media, whether it's Instagram or TikTok, whatever. You have youngsters, I'm talking teenage kids, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, that are going out in the streets doing some of the most egregious things to other people, and they recording it, family, and they uploading it to TikTok. Some of the most egregious things, uploading it to World Star Hip Hop. And why am I singling out World Star Hip Hop? because you can upload anything you want to on World Star Hip Hop, no matter how egregious it is. You want to upload a twerking video? Go ahead. You want to upload a video where you're half naked with no clothes? Go ahead. You want to upload a video of a young man hitting an old woman in the subway trains of New York? Go ahead. You want to upload a video of you abusing and misusing the animal? Go ahead. You want to upload a video of somebody knocking out an old lady and taking her purse? Go ahead and upload it. Nobody's going to stop you on World Star Hip Hop. Now, I got to give a little leeway to TikTok, because TikTok, if they see certain videos, they will take the videos down if it violates the community guidelines. But family, I have to ask the question. Family, I have to ask the question. Have we become so desensitized? Have we become so desensitized that we don't be in an uproar when we see some of these videos on World Star Hip Hop? Now, the video that I'm talking about of the young man in the subway of New York, this old lady, y'all can check it out yourselves. You know I'm not lying. There was an old lady. This lady looked about 80 or 90 years old. She's walking with a cane. She has a purse on her trying to get on the subway. And you see 2 or 3 hoodlums. You see 2 or 3 hooligans jump on this old 80-year-old woman and not only takes the lady purse, but assaults a 80-year-old woman. Now, when I was coming up, I know I'm a little old, but when I was coming up in the game, we respected our elders. We feared our elders. See, what they done did, well, to a certain extent, what they have done is desensitize the people on these social media apps. That's why when we see a young man knocking out an old lady, we laughing. I'm not gonna lie, I laugh too. I laugh too at some of these videos. But at the same time, I feel some type of way. Much love to Rich Homie Quan. Much love to Rich Homie Quan. I feel some type of way. Now we got the youngsters snitching on themselves. It used to be when you committed a crime, the police would have to do an investigation to prove you did something in a court of law. Now, they don't have to do that no more. You know why, family? Because you can go to some of these youngsters' Facebook and TikTok. They have uploaded their wrongdoing. They upload breaking the law on social media. So guess what the police do, family? They go right to Pookie Facebook. They go right to Leroy TikTok. They go right to Mike World Star Hip Hop account. They ain't got to do no investigation because the proof is already uploaded for the police to see. Can I get an amen, church? If I'm telling the truthers, just like my gold toothers I used to have, can I get an amen, church, if I'm telling the truth? So I say to myself in the title, and I'm going to say it one more time. Is social media a gift or a curse, family? Let me read y'all comments real quick. I want to thank that person. Just hit the like button. Thank you so much. I did drop the link for anybody want to come up. Let me read some of these comments real quick, family. All right. Okay, we got Fred Sanford saying, YouTube has started deleting comments. Okay, I read that one already. Okay, Fred Sanford say, hold on, let me get my glass. All right. We got Mahogany Roots in the house. Peace and love to Mahogany Roots and MJ. Good morning, CEXOXO. Good morning to you, Grand Rising Mahogany. You know, let me drop the link. Let me drop the link just one more time for anybody want to come up. I'm gonna read y'all comments real quick. Let me drop the link one more time if anybody want to come up. All right, and I'm gonna read y'all comments. All right, just drop me if anybody want to come up. Okay, now first we got Fred Sanford say TikTok has started going down. Show mostly women showing their bottom, walking around, or doing the eating and boots on the ground challenge. Yeah, I just seen that challenge. People doing that boots on the ground. Hold on, y'all. We got somebody in the back, y'all. We got somebody in the back. Let's go ahead and bring them up. Okay, we got Mahogany in the house. Let me go ahead and bring up Mahogany. Add the stage. Okay, Mahogany, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, how you doing there? Peace and love to you. Oh, I'm doing just fine. I'm
Good.
doing just fine this morning. I'm sitting here. I don't know how long you've been watching, but um, I've been sitting here discussing. Has social media is it a gift or a curse? And what say you, Mahogany? Go ahead. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I hadn't been listening to all of it. I just got here. But as far as your question, I always say it's both. I try to explain it because my mom thinks social media is the devil, honey. She won't even get on Facebook. But it's all about how you use it. It's a great tool for potential earnings money. If you
Mm-hmm.
take it seriously enough, it's a great tool for networking, for business growth. It's a great tool for socializing. There's a lot of people that I follow outside of our sector, but like they use it to promote their books. They use it to sell their items that they're selling, and so it's all about what you use it for, and if you take it seriously or not, and if you it really depends on what you're using it for. Some people just play on here.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I was saying earlier on the video. Now, I don't know how old you are. Me personally, I'm in my 40s. So I was born in the 80s. So I was born in a time to where we didn't have social media in the 80s. We didn't have social media in the 90s or the late 90s. We didn't really get social media till I'm going to say maybe 1997, 1998. But I was saying that when social media first came out, we had MySpace, and everybody remember MySpace. It was a real fun app. Everybody was doing dance videos and just doing things like that. And now, and you can speak to this because you're a female, and you can speak to this. But if you go to Instagram right now, if you go to Instagram, and if you stroll for a few minutes, you're going to see a lot of unsavory things. You're going to see a lot of women who are I guess, showing their bodies, I guess, for likes, clicks, donations, whatever the case may be. But there was a point when social media first came out when people seen certain things like that, or we seen an old lady being knocked across her head and a purse being took. We will be appalled at those things. Do you think, Mahogany, that because of places like World Star Hip Hop, where you can, do you think that we have become desensitized to content especially violent content. Do you, because it used to be a time, before police had body cameras, we never seen, police interactions. But now, if you go to World Star Hip Hop, you can see a man with a police with a knee on his neck. You can watch it live. You can watch the whole 15-minute video, Mahogany, of a man with a knee in his neck. You can watch a whole 10-minute video of a woman, and I want to talk about that young girl for a second. Now, Mahogany, I'm going, but just answer that question. Do you think that we have become desensitized? Go ahead, Mahogany.
Yes. So yes, you're an 80s baby. I'm a 70s baby. I'm older than you. But yes, I remember the time. And of course we become desensitized. That's honestly what I believe is the purpose, to distract and to desensitize people against what's happening. It's literally the matrix. The internet is literally the matrix. But like I said, it doesn't have to be the it depends on how you use it. Do you know what I mean? It really depends on how you use it. Do I spend my time watching a bunch of negative things online? No. Have I done it in the past? Yes. And then when I realized that it was taking a toll on my mind, I said, no, absolutely not. So I'm careful with what I spend my time and what I give my time to.
And some Mahogany, a wise man once told me, pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. Let me say that one more time. Pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. What do I mean by that, Mahogany? There is a terrible video that is going around right now on Facebook, whatever. Have you heard about that young girl? She was pregnant. She had 3 hood rat friends, and I mean that in the most disrespectful way. But this young pregnant girl had 3 friends who throwed her a baby shower. And do you know what these 3 hoodlums, heathens did when the young girl showed up to the baby shower, Mahogany? They beat the girl up and they beat the baby out of the girl. Have you heard of that story?
No, but it doesn't surprise me. It's sad, but it does not surprise me. It doesn't.
And the sad part about it, Mahogany, they recorded the whole thing. And that goes right to my point. The police don't have to investigate nothing no more. They ain't got to come up with no proof. You got people uploading their wrongdoings to social media. When did it become all right, Mahogany, for you to upload breaking the law on social media? Go ahead, sister.
Well, it's been happening for a while. I mean, everything from people getting deleted on Facebook Live, from people threatening to delete their girlfriends and doing it on live. I think that's happened several times now. And then we've had people recording people literally abusing their children and doing it on live on Facebook. So at this point, nothing. People, I don't want to say our people because I don't think it's our people, but I think it's a part of the programming. I think that social media is here, like I said, to distract and to numb Black folks. And if you're not careful, you can fall into that matrix. You can fall into that. And so, it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is to keep us in a kind of a negative state of mind. Because along with those things, as horrible as those things are, I think I just saw there's a lot of positive things happening too. I can't remember there was a young girl that just literally, her IQ is so high. I think she was accepted to NASA. She's literally straight out of high school. Instead of us posting and reposting and posting certain things that are going on in our communities all over the country, all over the world, we are on World Star Hip Hop posting the worst of us at the worst moments and the most degenerate of us. White folks have degeneracy too. The difference is they don't tend to post it all over the place. Black folks have got to get a better understanding of what's going on around them. I don't think we're aware of what's going on around us, and it's to our own detriment.
And something, Mahogany, because I want to add to that. And again, I'm glad you told me that you was born in the 70s, because one thing I can say about the generation, the generation that was born in the 60s, generations that was born in the 70s. See, you came up in a generation to where, and I'm gonna say this about hip hop music. I'm gonna say this about rap music, and I don't want to really offend nobody if I say this because I also do rap music. I also have made songs degrading women. I've also have made songs what some may call gangster songs. Calling women B's, calling women H's. I've done all that. But one thing I can say about the generation of the 70s, y'all had the luxury of coming up when it wasn't no rap, it was love music. Folks listening to Maze, folks listening to the Isley Brothers, folks listening to Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Stevie Wonder, Prince, Michael Jackson, great groups like the Temptations, the OJs, Mary J. Blige. Must love the Mary J. Blige. But Tony Braskin, but Aretha Franklin, I can go on and on. But I think that what benefit folks had coming up in the 60s, coming up in the 70s, we had music that was about love. It was about family. Now you fast forward to 2025, what the youngsters talking about? Mahogany, they talking about spinning the block. Oh man, I did this with your girl. Oh man, I got the brand new Bentley car. I got $100,000. I'm supposed to go to the club and go throw a whole bunch of money on some strippers. This was going on. It ain't no, they didn't took the love out the music, Mahogany. So it ain't no more, what I'm saying? It ain't no more Isley Brothers. It ain't no more Temptations. It ain't no more Gap Band. All we got now is youngsters talking about spinning the block. And Mahogany, it ain't got so disrespectful that we got these youngsters when they didn't already spent the block, they going to the people graveyards. Mahogany, they going to the folks graveyards and making videos, uploading it to TikTok and what they going to people grave sites and doing all kind of devious things at the grave site.
Well,
Go ahead, Mahogany. I'm gonna give you the floor. Go ahead.
thank you. I don't have much time. I just came to say hello, but I will
Yes,
answer this
ma'am.
part. So I was born in 1979. So even yes, since 1979, we did have R&B, we did have rap, we did have Eric B and Rakim. I'm a huge hip hop head. I love hip hop. MC Light, you name it, I love it. I was born in 1979, but of course I grew up in the
Mm-hmm.
80s. But the wonderful thing about my family is, yes, I grew up in the church, but my family was huge. There were lots of musicians in my family. My mom sang, my brother did every type of instrument there was. So we were always big into music. And so even though I was born in the 70s, I listened to all types of music from the Supremes to James Brown. So every type of genre of music I listened to. And I love music. I will say this. I think that it's true when you compare music today versus music of old past, there is very little music about love, and I think that's sad. But one thing I do notice that there's usually a cycle that happens with music to where what is old becomes new again. There's nothing new under the sun. So I think we'll have our time where the young people start understanding that yes, we need love and we need love through our music. Last thing I wanted to say is I think I think it's a problem when we start blaming the music. Now, the music, there's no doubt, some of the music is gross and disgusting. And there's some music, but let's be honest, CE, the fact of the matter is it starts at home. I listened to every type of music. When I was young, though, I wasn't allowed because my parents loved me. And so they did not play certain types of music in front of me. Then once I got older and I got old enough, I was able to listen to other types of music. But what I'm trying to say is we could blame the music all day long. It's not going to change the fact that it's allowed to be played. what needs to change is what's going on at that household, because kids are more
Hmm.
likely to follow what they see versus I've listened to all type of music, and I listened to Luke pop that coochie, but I was not there popping that coochie because
Woo.
it was, you understand what I'm saying, because I had
Hmm.
parents that taught me. So it starts at home first, and then they can show whatever the trash they want to show on television. They can show whatever trash on Instagram. They can show whatever trash they want to play on the radio. But like I say, you raise a child, you train them the way they should go, and they will not depart. So I think what's more important is for us to focus at what's going on in these households with Black people. But I
Right.
gotta go, sweetie. I'll listen to you.
Okay, and thank you so much for supporting the channel, and thanks for coming up, Mahogany. Peace and love to you. Thank you so much for sharing your opinion. Thank you.
Peace and love. And let me just say, if I had more time, I definitely would stay because I love talking about music. So I'll,
Right.
I'll see you soon. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mahogany. Peace. All right. Woo. Man, hey, well, hey, man, that was, hey, man, I'm glad that she hit the link because I think we needed to hear a female perspective on this whole kerfuffle. So I want to thank Mahogany for coming up here for a few minutes and sharing how she feels about this particular topic. And so let me read some of y'all comments real quick. And like I said, I did drop the link for anybody want to come up. I did drop the link for anybody want to come up. And if you enjoying the channel, if you enjoying this commentary, man, you know your brother CE is not monetized. So if you want to show CE some love, you know what I'm saying, you can hit my cash app, you know what I'm saying, $ CE2055. And I will give you a special shout out and a special cash app emoji. Thank you so much for your love and support. Let's see how many likes we got. All right, family, we got 7 likes. I want to thank all 7 people. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. All right, then Mahogany and Root say thanks so much. I will replay, edit. I will replay editing some videos right now. Okay, well, thank you so much, Mahogany. I appreciate that. So let me read some of y'all comments real quick, and we're gonna get back into this commentary. All right. Okay, I guess let me feed. Okay, let's start off with okay, Fred Sanford. Hold on real quick, man. All right. Okay, we got Fred Sanford says TikTok started downhill, show mostly women showing their bottom, walking around doing that eating and boost dance. And then Chat Lives Matter says um that's American, bro. America has a love affair with the villain. Going back to Jesse James in the 1860s up through Al Capone and the gangs of Chicago, Bonnie and Clyde, etc. America loves bad guys. And then Chat Lives Matter say Fred Sanford, what you see on TikTok depends on what you watch, bro. Laughing out loud. If you linger over a video of some body, you feed will fill up with more body laughing out loud. And then Fred Sanford said, "Oh, I see. Thanks. Chat Lives Matter. Don't linger too long on those videos." All right, then we got Mahogany. Say, good morning, CEXOXO. Listening in, hun. Take that, take that. Show you right. And then we got Chat Lives Matter say, uploading stuff for clout is the same as the old time hustlers driving around in $90,000 cars and wearing mink coats. It's basically saying, I sell, oh, arrest me. Okay. Then Mahogany Roots say XOXO. All right. Then we got Chat Lives Matter say Fred Sanford, you can't linger at all. The TikTok algorithm is predatory. You don't have to click anything when you see them women. You gotta zoom past it, laughing out loud. And then Fred Sanford say, CE, will you do a video on why so many of these young rappers getting sent to the shadow realm are RIP? I can't explain it. We're losing too many. I agree with that, Fred Sanford. Real talk. Then Chat Lives Matter say Fred Sanford's social media creates a 24-hour opportunity to clash. We use we used to only fight when we saw each other at the movies, at the park, on the bus, but we didn't see our ops that much. Then Fred Sanford said, yeah, chat, it's so sad. We're losing so many young rappers almost once a month. It's just strange. And then Chat Lives Matter say, Fred Sanford, I used to watch the Chicago shooting stats, and during the winter months, there would be a huge drop off of numbers of shootings because it was too cold to be out. So Chat Lives Matter, you saying the only reason why the crime rate dropped in Chicago is because it was too cold to come outside. Man, boy, that's some nasty work. That's nasty work right there, Chat Lives Matter. But I gotta agree with you. It makes sense to me. It's so cold outside, you can't go outside and spin the block, as the youngsters call it. All right. Then Chat Lives Matter says, Fred Sanford, we are nearly 50 million strong, bro. Monetized social media can make it seem like the sky is falling, but it really not. And then Chat Lives Matter say Mahogany Roots and MJ, exactly. I spend most of my time in non-conflict spaces. Your algorithm gets filled with whatever you watch. All right. And then Fred Sanford say, chat, I, am I overreacting, or does it seem like being a rapper is a dangerous profession? I want to talk about that 1 second for Fred Sanford. All right. And then Chat Lives Matter say, Fred Sanford, I think you are reacting to your social media feed and the wording they use. I have never heard of a person that got unalived for rapping, but the headlines will say rapper for clicks. And then Fred Sanford say, CE, we've got to do something. We're getting so many very young YN getting long prison sentences. All right, so look, so I caught up with all the. All right, we got pills in the house. Let me read. Okay, I caught up with all y'all comments. We'll make sure I caught up with all y'all comments. Again, I did drop the link for anybody want to come up. I would love to talk to someone about this online war that's been going on between men and women. You know, you got women life coaches and male life coaches like Kevin Samuels. Now, some would say that Kevin Samuels was a toxic person, but I want to talk about Kevin Samuels 1 second and when he came into the frame. And I want to talk about some of the lady life coaches that came into the frame that was disagreeing with what Kevin Samuels said. All right. All right. And then Chat Lives Matter say, CE, you can be monetized from day one on Rumble. People can send you super chats from the first day. Okay, babe, I need to check that out, Chat Lives Matter. What you think about the Tory Lanez situation? Brother Peels, Pillsbury Drop said, what do I think about the Tory Lanez situation? I'm gonna say that it was a tragedy, Brother Peels, for the simple fact, you know, Tory Lanez is Canadian, man. He's Canadian. I think he's a very short man. I think he's about maybe 5'1", 5'2". And when I heard the news about the brother and what happened to him, I felt very sad, man, because, you know, a lot of people got their opinions about Tory Lanez, the whole kerfuffle between him and Meg Thee Stallion. I wasn't there. I didn't see what happened. So I can't say is Tory Lanez guilty or not guilty, and does he deserve to be incarcerated? Is he innocent or is he guilty? I can't speak to that, Pills. But what I can say is it really hurt my heart to see a brother so talented, a brother so full of potential, you know, have something, like that happen to him while he doing time, man. Because I know the brother got kids, he got a father, he got aunties and uncles and cousins and family members. So, yeah, brother Pills, I felt some type of way when I seen that, man. I felt real sad, man. I think it's very tragic, but I'm gonna pray for Tory Lanez that the brother make a full recovery. You dig what I'm saying? Hold on. So, um, I want to go back. I want to go back and I want to go back to a question that Fred Sanford put out. He says, CE, we've got to do something. We're getting so many young YNs getting long prison sentences. And I think that has a double-edged sword, Fred Sanford. And I'll tell you why. See, just like when I was talking with Mahogany, coming up in the 60s, coming up in the 70s, when a child did something wrong, let's say you went to the store and you stole a bag of chips or you stole a piece of candy and you got caught. See, back in the day, not only would you get disciplined by the grown folks in our community, but when you got home, you got disciplined. So you'll have Uncle Charlie. So you'll have Uncle Charlie out there discipline the kids, and then when you got home, you got more discipline. And I think what happened is, to a certain extent, of course, we know you are not allowed to put your hands on a child that's not yours. I don't care if you see this child misusing somebody, doing something they ain't got no business doing, disrespecting the elderly people. There used to be a time when the folks in the community would discipline the child. And so we didn't see, and I'm particularly talking to Fred Sanford because he's saying, what can we do about these young kids getting into these kerfuffles? But you're not allowed to discipline your child at school. Matter of fact, you're not really allowed to discipline your child at home, because I've seen videos of, in a particular community, y'all get where I'm going with this, but I've seen videos of children in a particular community that will call the police on their parent. Say the parent whooped them, the parent made them go to timeout, the parent took their belt off and spanked them, and called the police. And the police show up and arrest the parent family. If y'all know what I'm talking about, somebody put a 100 in the Nothing But the Truth chat room. It used to be a time that we had the wish you woulda generation. And what's the wish you woulda generation? See, I came up in the generation where I wish you would call the police after I done spanked you because you was at school not listening to the teacher, getting into fights and doing all kinds of kerfuffles. I wish you would disrespect that elderly man on the corner, that elderly woman on the corner. I wish you would talk back to me at the store. And don't even get me started with church family. Don't even get me started with going to church. See, I'm from the old school where we had Sunday school. Then we had to go to church with the adults. And I remember and I'm particularly talking to Fred Sanford about what we can do. I'm going to get into that 1 second. But I remember as a youngster going to church, sitting down with my grandma. I wish you would make a scene in church in front of pastor. Man, I come from the wish you would generation. When I tell you, family, when you went to church on Sunday, you had to sit down and be quiet and listen to the pastor preach. And you bet not, unless you needed to go to the restroom, unless you needed to relieve yourself or something, man, you were sitting down right there with granny, your mama, your daddy, listening to the pastor. And if you did something out of line, you would get a pinch. Remember that take you to the back of the church and spank you? I come from the wish you would generation. And I'm going to say this about C19. Y'all know what C19 is. I don't want to say the word because I don't want, YouTube is real funny when you talk about C19. C19 is, where you get the jab. And I know all of us had to go get the jab to go to work. We had to get the jab to go to school. So when C19 came out, what I think was the worst thing that happened to our generation, Fred Sanford, was C19 took out a large proportion of the elderly population. And when the elderly population passed away, they took that book of knowledge with them. They took that book of wisdom with them. And so now grandmama, big mama is 35 years old. Grandmama and big mama is 25 years old. Y'all remember grandmama? Y'all remember big mama back in the day when you would go to a house on Sunday after church and she would make a big spread. All the family showed up and sat down at the table. She made macaroni and cheese and fried chicken. She made oxtails and she made peach cobbler and dinner rolls and mustard greens and collard greens. Y'all remember them days? But big mama gone. Rest in peace to big mama. Big mama was 70, 80 years old. But every time you went over a house, if you was hungry, big mama fed you. When you went over big mama house, you need a little gas money, you need a couple dollars, big mama was there to help you. Now big mama gone. Now we stuck with Bonquisha. Now we stuck with Shaniqua. That's 35, 40 years old, and she's a grandmother to some kids right now. And we don't have the same standards. We don't have the same morals that we had in the 60s, that we had in the 70s, that we had in the 80s. I'm going to even say that we even had in the late 90s. It all changed with the so-called technology called social media. So again, I ask that question, family. Is social media a gift or a curse? Let me read y'all comments real quick. I want to thank those people just hit the like button. Thank you so much. All right. I appreciate that support. Thank you so much. All right. What do you think about the Tory Lanez situation? I spoke on that for a minute, Pillsbury Drive. Then Fred Sanford say, why are so many YouTubers in the Umar Johnson and D. Durrell sector demonetized? That's a real good question. It's a real good question. All right. And then we got Fred Sanford saying, chat, but I see them monetized and shortly thereafter demonetized XCE. All right, then Fred Sanford put a 100. Thank you so much. And then Fred Sanford say, so CE, it sounds like you're saying we're lost a sense of family values. Wish you would. I like that generation. Let me read that one more time because you made a whole lot of sense right there, Fred Sanford. CE. So CE, it sounds like you're saying We've lost a sense of family values. And I have to say, yes, um, I have to say yes, Fred Sanford, because how did we? Of course, we lost family values because, again, the I wish you would call the police on me because I spanked you generation. Now that generation is gone. And the generation that's the big mama now, the generation that's the grandmama now, they on TikTok doing twerk videos. Y'all know I'm not lying. Grandmama and big mama got a Facebook now, and they uploading videos every day about their new outfits. You can see them on YouTube. You can see them on TikTok. You can see them at the restaurant showing off, eating crab legs, eating crawfish, eating big old scrimps and stuff. They down at the Cheesecake Factory eating a whole cheesecake family. Ain't much give me a slice. But that's what Big Mama doing right now. Big Mama fit to do the new dance twerk off on X. Family values gone. Is social media a gift or a curse? So let me talk about Kevin Samuels for 1 second, because a lot of this ties into what's called the manosphere and the woman's sphere, and this so-called war or gender war that's happening between men and women. Now, when I was first introduced to Kevin Samuels, this was probably about, I'm going to say 3-4 years ago. This was before he so-called became YouTube famous. Before, he was, he became big. I think he had like a million, 2 million subscribers. But at one time, Kevin Samuels was the man. And I didn't know what blue pill was. I didn't know what red pill was. So I'm listening to Coach D. I'm listening to 33. I'm listening to people like Kevin Samuels, and he's saying things like women need to be held accountable. Men need to be held accountable for their choices. Women need to stop divorcing their husbands. Husbands need to stop divorcing their wives and to keep the family together. Because it's true. Because there and you know something, Fred Sanford, when you said what we can do about the youngsters getting locked up, a large part of that, Fred Sanford, is there ain't no fathers at the house. Ain't no fathers at the house. And some of the kids who live in these single family household, well, where the mama? The mama at work. Because the mama got to work. The mama got to pay bills. So it ain't nobody to watch the children, direct the children. And so that brings me right to Kevin Samuels. I remember watching videos. He would have women call into his show and he would rate them. And, they would say, yeah, I'm looking for a man with these standards. I want a man that's 6'1". I want a man that's 6'2", 6'3". I want a man that make over $100,000 a year. I want a man that's already established with no kids. And so we had Kevin Samuels giving it to women straight and men's too. But I heard Kevin Samuels lean on some women talking about, well, how many baby daddies you got? So what? You got 5, 6 kids. You got 4, 5 different baby daddies, but you want a high value man that's 6'2", that make $100,000 a year. I've never heard a man talk like that. And then as time progressed, do you want to know the new metaphor that the women came up with? They called it toxic masculinity. They called it toxic masculinity. So now the environment has been created If you have a difference of opinion on how you think our children should be raised, you toxic. If you think that kids should be brought up with morals and dignity, you toxic. If you think children should read the Bible, if you think if you have a differences of opinion between raising a family and being involved in the LGBT community, you are called toxic masculinity. Now let's go to the females for a minute, because we also have what's called feminism. And some of the men in the red pill community call it toxic femininity. Femininity. And what is femininity from my perspective? Again, if it's a woman, I don't want to hit the link, but what is femininity from my perspective? Some women say, oh, I don't need no man. I can do it on my own. You know, I can raise my kids on my own. I don't need no man in the house. Some call that toxic femininity. See, I'm giving it to you on both sides. I'm not sugarcoating nothing, family. And if you've been listening to me, you know I'm telling the truth. So the question is, what is the solution to this kerfuffle that we find ourselves in? And to be honest, family, and I'm going to get to y'all comments in 1 second. And to be honest, family, because I want to, Kevin Samuels passed away. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. With all due respect. But the only thing that we can do, Fred Sanford, to save these young boys is to change up everything. Change up allowing our kids to be on social media. Change up the movies that they're watching. Make sure that the friends they're around are good kids and not getting into trouble and not breaking the law. I would never let my kids hang out with a young man or a young woman that disrespect their parents. I would never allow my children to hang out with somebody who would disrespect elderly people. I would never let my young girls hang out with a girl that I know is promiscuous and wearing mini skirts, which ain't nothing wrong with that, especially if you're going to the beach, you got on the bikini. But y'all know what I'm saying. It's one thing to put that on, and it's another thing to put it on and to cut on your camera and upload it to Instagram or TikTok. Respectfully. Let me read these comments real quick. Chat Lives Matter say every generation gets together in their 40s and says the exact same thing. I remember hearing my mother and aunt saying what you are saying now in the early 80s. Show you right, Chat Lives Matter. All right. All right. And then Fred Sanford say eating big old shrimp. Show you right. Then Fred Sanford say, yeah, Kevin Samuels and Kendra G. I'm so glad you brought up Kendra G, because I want to talk about her for a few minutes, Fred Sanford. Kendra G, I'm going to call her the queen of the woman sphere, who gives advice to women about relationships. And I've heard people call in to Kendra G channel, and Kendra G will ask them, hey, you know, I guess she's like a dating coach. She'll be like, hey, what kind of man are you looking for? Then the women will say, hey, I'm looking for a man that makes 6 figures. I'm looking for a man that's tall and slim, got his own house, no children, you know, just really, high expectations. And respectfully, but some of these women that will call in the Kendra G channel, they're either divorced, they have multiple children, and they're looking for a man. They're looking for 1% of a man that every woman's looking for. I find it hard for a woman. I'm talking women of my generation in their 40s, late 30s, early 50s. It's hard to find a man that don't have children in that particular age group. And it's hard to find women that's in their 30s, 40s, or 50s that don't already have children or grown children. So when you got Women's calling into Kendra G's channel talking about, I'm looking for a man that's high value, make over 6 figures, slim, 6'5", just these outrageous standards. But that's what it is. But when you, because I got to give it on both sides. But when you got some men saying, hey, I want a woman that's feminine, I want a woman who's comfortable in her femininity, I want a woman who's a homemaker, who can cook, clean. In certain situations, you'll be called misogynist or toxic masculinity, or you're being misogynist because you want your woman at the house cooking. You're partaking in misogyny because you want a woman that covers herself, that's not all on Instagram showing her gluteus maximus and her breast to anybody that can look on social media. I don't know no man, me personally, but I don't know not a nail man that actually wants his woman on social media showing all her godly goods to every Tom, Dick, and Harry with an iPhone or with a Galaxy Samsung. If I'm telling the truth, family, somebody say nothing but the truth in the chat room. If I'm telling the truth, somebody put nothing but the truth in the chat room, family. And I already hear the critics now. I already hear the people in the comment section. CE, you're being very judgmental. What about all the bad stuff you done did? You sound so self-righteous. And again, I say, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to start a conversation to where we can heal some of, we can put a Band-Aid on some of the kerfuffles that's going on in our community. And it's going on in the Black community, the white community, the Asian community, the Indian community, the African community. I don't care what community that you in. They're all going through the same situations. And so, yeah, family. So, hey, I wanted just to come talk with y'all for a few seconds. I appreciate everybody watching this video. I appreciate everybody who took the time out to hit the like button. I appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel. I'm sorry I can't get to the rest of y'all comments, but I may have to do a part 2 of this live stream. I got to go take care of a little bit business, but y'all take care, man. And you know what I'm saying? You can super violate that Cash App too, family. Don't hesitate to super violate that like button, super violate that Cash App. And I want to thank y'all so much for listening to your brother CE. Just talk for a few minutes. I want to thank Mahogany for coming up. I want to thank everybody in the chat room, man, who shared their comments. All right, y'all. Peace. I'll see y'all soon, y'all. Peace.